Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Now, new Winter of War fight is here and arguably it is the easiest one yet, because unlike any of the previous one, you can quite literally do this one with just about any champion. Now, obviously there are some better ones than others and we will be discussing that, but before we get there, let's just take a look at the fight itself, the objectives, and also take a look at some solos because, well, they are flowing in thick and fast, and this is one of those fights where a lot of people are just going into solo for fun with random champions. But let's take a look. So initially, we have Hulkling, who is effectively immune to Nullify, Stagger, Fate Seal, Buff Immunity, Neutralize, and all the other type of stuff. So you can't really mess with his buffs. We have Superiority, Paragon. If the attacker is a hero champion, they gain Superiority. And we have Deep Impact Node. Special attacks thrown into the defender's block gain plus 100% block penetration and 100% attack. If the attacker has superiority, special attacks thrown into the block also gain 300% attack, and blocked specials passively stun the defender for 2 seconds. That is if you are hero. And then we have Super Power Shield Turbo 1, which effectively tells you that you do virtually no damage unless you throw a special attack in opponent's block. While the attacker is performing special attack, they gain 100% block penetration. Defenders inflicted with daunted passive of 25% potency per each power spent, which makes them take even more damage. The only other kind of like significant note here is Make a Stand, which reduces all the incoming damage by 90% unless you knock them down. Then we have Invade, Inflated Ego, where opponent does not take any damage unless they have 3 buffs, but with Hulkling that's not really an issue. And Kinetic Absorption, which lets you gain power when hitting opponent's block. There's a very simple story to this fight. You need to knock him down without blocking and throw your specials into his block. That is just about it. Now, in order to knock Hulkling down without blocking yourself, the easiest way to do that is utilizing a relic. However, it is also extremely easy by punching his level 2. So the goal is to push him to level 2s or use your relic, knock him down, throw a special into his block. That's quite that simple. Now, the objectives are... One second, let's just go over the objectives first. The objectives are, first and foremost, Mercenary. And there are, again, you can use just about any champion, but the best one by far that people went to check out immediately, was Massak, because Massak is kind of geared towards throwing specials in a block. He cannot be punished, and that's quite awesome. And Absorbing Man. Those are the 2 runaway winners here. Massak and Absorbing Man are the best mercenary options. Besides that, I assume Crossbones will do just fine job, just as well as Hitmonkey and Domino. Buffed Luke Cage probably has very little problems as well. Or again, you can use just about any champion. Whoever you have ranked up the highest should do just fine. Then moving on to the next objective is Dimensional Beings. Here, the clear favorite is America Chavez, especially because she gains extra attack for the opponent's buffs, Mystic Dispersion, and also super easy knockdowns. Additionally, CGR is gonna do you just fine. I tested out Kushala a bit. Kushala works a treat also. I heard, from people following it with the Purgatory. I messed around a bit with Morningstar because Morningstar has like infinite healing in that fight. It will be a long fight, but it definitely can be done. So yeah, the best ones here will be Chavez, Kushala, CGR, but again, whoever you have ranked up the highest can probably get the job done. And then the Valiant objective, which is the trickiest because there are no like obvious easy champion, but my Photon did the job just fine. I think I got the solo in the second try with Photon, and Quicksilver was actually doing insane amount of work, and the reason for that is because Quicksilver, he has like 15 hit combo, so you get your special attack super quick. And yeah, just utilize that. You're going to be getting your specials very easily and quickly with Quicksilver. Additionally, again, as I said, Photon did just about fine, but again, whoever you have ranked up the highest should be able to get the job done. It's more about the fight itself, and therefore we are going to be taking a look at the fight itself. So the first fight I did is with Massak. And this is going to be a bit sloppy recording, but I, wanted to show some mistakes as well. But the start of the fight is always kind of like the hardest, because at some point I will end up taking a hit on the block, and that's going to hurt a lot. But initially, the entire point with Massacre would be, I'm throwing the first special without actually doing any damage. Just so show that you need to have the opponent have 3 buffs, which means you cannot exclusively hit their block. But once you do bait out at level 2, that's where the fight goes. Here I'm going to throw my special without even having the bat ignited, but obviously that still does a significant amount of damage. And here I did not necessarily want him to throw that special, but it's fine. Again, the goal is to throw that special after you knock Hulkling down and push him to level 2s in order to utilize your heavy attack in order to disable that protection. After that, just shoot the specials in the block. As we can see here, deals plenty of damage, and then Massacre is having tons of fun. Here he's throwing level 2. Again, I'm kind of getting in a decently good rhythm. Drop another level 2. His protection is disabled. I'm trying to push him to level 2 yet again, if I can, or get my level 2 off. As we can see, Massacre is gaining a ton of power, hitting the opponent's block, and we are just carrying on, baiting out at level 2. Again, fairly good rhythm for this fight. Knock him down after that, get your bat ignited or hit the block, and rinse and repeat. So, fairly straightforward fight. My Massacre is rank 5. My Massacre is not ascended. He does not need to be awakened for this fight, but just to show you guys the general rhythm. Here it kind of fell out because he threw his level 1, but I utilize a relic and still get into my special attack after having him knocked down with a heavy attack thanks to that striker. So this fight is easier with a striker on. Keep that in mind. And here we go. Again, for most part, unfortunately, he has that protection. I'm just going to shoot my level 2 anyways. Even through protection, you still end up dealing some, significant damage, I would say. I threw it for the sake of kind of like remaining, maintaining the rhythm of the fight. I think I'm going to take a blocked hit here, which I shouldn't have. I should have been more patient, but I ended up taking a blocked hit, which, hurt. And here he's at 8%. I think I'm going to make one small boo-boo as well, but it was actually very funny on the stream. I almost soloed this fight at my first try, and he was at 1%, and I pushed him to level 3. I was so mad. So I got the solo with Massacre in my second try. I got a solo with my Chavez in the first try, and Photon with my second try as well. So it's definitely one of the easier fights that we have had. Now, as we can see here, Hulkling is at 6%. Any special attack in block will do. So I do just that, and the fight's over. Next up with Chavez, and here it's also straightforward. Just throw your heavies. Ideally, you do. I noticed that it didn't seem to make too much of a difference if your special is unblockable, but that was kind of like in hindsight. But the base idea is, just gain power, throw specials in a block, and because America Chavez is a hero champion, you can also safely throw your level 1 in the block. And you are gonna passively stun him, after that special. So you do not need to worry about him hitting you with Chavez after any of the special that you throw. So here you can see special in the block, plenty of damage, nothing too crazy. This is like the easiest champion for this fight, probably because Mystic Dispersion is a thing. Additionally, you get super easy knockdowns, and it's pretty much perfect. So here again, I'm just going for a heavy attack. Sweet. At some point there, I'm just going to throw a special in the block as well. Here we go. Special in the block. Unfortunately, the protection comes back, so I don't do too much damage. But again, as long as, you keep chugging along, not every single time everything's going to align perfectly, because you do need to make sure you're throwing special in the block. You need to make sure that he is not indestructible. You need to make sure that the protection of the protection is off. So all of those things together, sometimes you're going to be in a situation where, you just have to throw a special attack when it's not ideal, but that's perfectly fine. To be fair, I should have probably just spammed more level 1s in this fight as well. I definitely can do it significantly quicker than I did here. But, it's not a big deal. We're going to knock him down now. I think I'm gonna unfortunately throw a special attack into him rather than his block at some point in this fight as well. Oh no, well, not this one anyways. And again, his health is just, gradually decreasing without me having to worry too much. I'm throwing his level 1 here. It passively stuns. And we're just, getting another dimension up. You don't even need to worry too much about having your dimensions up. It's probably one of the things that actually slowed me down the most in this fight, where, I was taking a look whether I have plenty dimensions active. But here we go. Again, passively stunned after special attack, easy knockdown, that indestructible buff feeding your Mystic Dispersion. You're just living a good life. This is about as easy of an Eternity of Pain fight as I have ever had or as I have ever seen. He has his final 17% health, so I'm going to knock him down here. And then I'm going to shoot my special. Again, unfortunately, didn't do too much damage then, but that's fine. That region is, slowly kind of like adding up, but obviously it's not too significant comparatively speaking to the health pool and the amount of damage that you end up doing. And yeah, he's at 9% now. And unfortunately, completely, oh no, I don't even know why this special attack did damage, but hey, fine, fair enough. And this final one is with Photon. And with Photon, you might feel like it's a bit tricky to get the fight started. So what kind of my strategy is, just play Photon normally until you push him to level 2. Because it is quite hard to punish Hulkling's heavy attack with Photon if you haven't practiced it. So the idea here is just don't worry about dealing damage initially at the beginning of the fight. I'm not going to have like the ideal fight beginning here either. But you do want to just get him to the level 2. Because as soon as you get Hulkling to the level 2, you can knock him down and everything else just kind of falls into place. So that is the game plan with Photon and with quite a few other champions as well. Just get him to the level 2 for the first time and that is it. Photon also has quite interesting interaction with her specials. Obviously, still being able to be unblockable on the last hit when thrown into the block. So it is quite easy to get the knockdowns, even if you don't get him to level 2, which, ideally you do want. But you can punish the level 2 here. And again, the base ID is quite similar here. Here, unfortunately, the power gain was a bit too slow, and I hoped that it would be a level 2 there, but that's fine. We're just going for the level 1 spam in here, and, life's good. We're just hitting the block, spamming the level 1, still knocking him down, doing the damage. It's already at 60%, and that's quite quick, especially because those 5 Furies, give us significant damage boost as well. And now, again, I'm not too focused in this point in doing too much damage. Main thing is to get him to that level 2 for the easy knockdowns. Here I, didn't have the best spacing, but luckily the second hit, connected in time. That's fine. And now again, we're just doing our thing. Let's be doing some damage, ramping up Photon for like the next big burst for most part. So again, pushing Hulkling to level 2s is the most important thing. Cannot stress this enough. Fight gets progressively easier if you can get him to the level 2s. Everything else will fall into the place once you get the easy knockdowns and don't need to stress about, intercepts or, getting your heavies in some other way. Very, very simple like this. Again, going for a decent chunk of damage here. He's going to throw his level 2, but we do not even really need the knockdown here. I do punish it in order to pause Photon's charges slightly. Going for another, set of special in the block. Now I'm going to knock him down, yet again, thanks to the relic. Again, was not necessary actually to knock him down there, but that's fine. We're just chugging along, slowly but surely hitting the block, actually dealing some significant damage with basic through block as well, in one way or another. And going for another hit, and this was, super quick and easy and painless. So that is Hulkling, really the easier one of the Winter of Woe fights. So far, you can use, again, just to reiterate, just about any champion. And, you can go and have fun with Werewolf by Night or Spider-Man Supreme or a handful of other champions. Just to remind you guys, so here with Avengers, I think Photon and Quicksilver are the 2 best options, but whoever you have ranked up highest will work just fine. With Mercenaries, you have Absorbing Man and you have Massacre. as the two best options in my opinion. And then you have America Chavez, Kushal, and CGR for dimensional being. Right, that is it about now. Hope you guys found this video useful, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next